Understood, but apparently there's some misinformation being disseminated on the radio station.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time with disasters. You've got a lot of people that are very concerned, a lot of channels that get crossed, a lot of wires that get crossed, and so that's part of the challenge that we have.
Sure.
But I wanted to make sure that you knew that we can provide more of them, and I'm sorry that you've had this challenge getting them, and I'll get on the phone when I leave and try to help straighten that out. What other issues?
Your ability to help us with the federal proclamation,
right?
Because that's huge.
We are working on that as well. Beth Freeman is the newly appointed FEMA Regional Director. We have a call, Dave Miller has a call into her to request that federal declaration. We're also trying to get FEMA to agree to look at this as a larger disaster. I mean, you've been hit, what, 3 or 4 times now?
Mm-hmm.
So when they start that date could depend on your eligibility for more federal help, as opposed to 4 separate events, for example. So we're doing everything we can to maximize the federal resources in terms of those programs as well.
As our city was in trouble earlier when we had all the snow and overtime hours and all of that to clear, and now we have some more of that, and they stepped up to the plate and bought a generator. Just took the initiative and did that in a budget that is pretty tight.
And that's SAC?
Yes, it is, SAC City.
Yeah. Okay.
We have electrical services everywhere, but it's important for even people with generators that we keep our gas stations running. It's important we keep our grocery stores open, because otherwise we can't get food. We can't get gas to run the generators.
And our grocery store has been closed.
As well as our gas stations.
Yes.
Okay.
No, the Sheriff's Department is spread pretty thin, just doing the basics. And on the way up here, there's trucks on the road, and I don't know if the National Guard would be any help for traffic control or to try and, some people, this is, Carroll, Sac County, part of Calhoun and Crawford are the worst part of, but with all these utilities, private contractors.
To coordinate.
And just a few people to help the Sheriff's Department if they're doing, there's more accidents and so forth. And if the National Guard could, a few of them could help bring older people into the warming centers if this thing is going to be prolonged, and if we get another blast, it could be, the resources are getting worn out and stretched. And,
absolutely. How about 911 or any?
That's all
I mean, if people get to the point where they need to get to shelter and they need a ride.
We're up and running. We have a generator that runs our system. We'll try to get out to them. That's, our gravel roads, obviously. I don't know if you've been on any, but they're 100% ice. And our secondary roads are trying to grade that top part off and make it a little more travelable. But so far we're sitting pretty good. In a small county, we did about 1,500 calls in 2 days. We were just overwhelmed with people calling about down power lines, cars in the ditch, and then our normal operations. So.
And did you have to transport some of those 1,500?
We have. We have taken some, yes.
Okay. And now on the debris removal,
That's going to be huge.
You just kind of don't know what to do there.
We've moved them out of the road.
Okay.
That's it.
it's so icy. I was out in the hardware store and guys are getting chainsaw parts, but it's so icy in most of the areas. I fell down several times in my farm.
The city is working on
the debris removal, except for utilities, do you wonder if it'd be best to?
But you can't even get them out of your yard. There's no way.
Right.
But you can't even get them out of your yard yet. But when they do, it's going to be a huge
Right.
debris removal
Right.
for the whole county.
That's
so
something that I can work with you on too, in trying to,
pay for some
there
of
are
the time
some
and everything.
things some resources there we can tap.
I work with a nonprofit. We look after persons with disabilities, and we were fortunate. We got a generator set up, so we took care of everybody that wanted in last night.
Okay.
And we still had room for a few more, but then I need people to help me. I mean,
Right.
we're spread thin, and is there any help from? I mean, I'm losing my shirt on overtime and everything
Yeah.
too. I mean, is there any help for us too? We're covered, I think, as far as the people that we're serving. And we may be able to help some other people if we got people to come help us. That's the problem.
Is the Red Cross on the ground?
The Red Cross was on the ground. They were here last night. They left this morning because we had power. Since they left, we've lost power twice.
Okay.
I don't know if we're on again or not, but
The other thing that's huge right now, we're very fortunate that we're hanging around 30 degrees.
Right.
If it got colder, that's when we're going to have some serious problems.
Okay. And how about the Safeguard Iowa partnership? Are you familiar with that?
yes.
Does that allow you to get additional?
It's questionable, but
Volunteers?
we can certainly submit it.
Yeah.
And the county has, quote unquote, a mutual aid agreement with the Howard Center, and we help procure a generator for them. In return, if we have people that needs to give there for a warming center, they're welcome. And so, based on that, we're hoping that, yes, we can get some reimbursement for John. But typically, that's going to have to be under a declaration.
Okay. Federal.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
But you need more human resources.
I'm running just enough people to take care of the people I got. If we bring in more people, like I said, we were only about half full, but it was crowded, but it's still, we could get up to 100, but we had like 50 people in there last night.
Okay.
My concern is being able to keep enough people in there. If we bring a bunch of more people in, then I'm kind of in trouble because I was covering the people I had, but they have special needs, and so those people are busy.
And what's the name of your?
Howard Center.
Howard Center.
Yeah.
In town here?
Yep.
I know, that's the issue, the food issue, John.
The food issue, yesterday, my administrative staff, we made soup and we fed people for 2 or 3 meals. We got 1 meal for tonight, and we don't know what tomorrow brings, but they're all covered through tomorrow anyway.
All right. Well, that's helpful.
Doug has food, but no way to cook it.
I have food at the rec center.
We're getting close to running out of food. We're going to need to get to the grocery store pretty soon, I think. But we've had a lot of food and stuff.
To get their generator running for their,
For the community center, it could be running anytime it's needed, actually, I believe. Didn't they work on it this morning and it could be
I
up and
cannot
running?
speak for her. Everyone in this room knows her.
And you have a generator at the water plant, right?
Yes, we have a generator at the water plant, we have a generator at the wastewater plant.
Okay.
In the same way with other communities.
And Adam told me they completely fueled them while the power was on today.
What about the Meals on Wheels that's not being delivered, like to Auburn and that? I mean, do they have enough food there? Or do they count on that?
Well, a lot of those, like here, they're elderly people, and they don't need to be out in this ice.
Right.
We have one major grocery store in this county, and we have one other.
One in Wall Lake, one in Shaler.
Wall Lake, we have 4.
One in Shaler.
Okay.
And they're all out?
Well, if the power's out, they shut the doors, and it was like, no, you gotta
But
leave
they
the
don't have
doors.
generators?
No,
No,
none of
no.
them.
Okay.
And they have huge loads to pull,
Okay.
especially this one,
Our grocery store closed
for 2 days.
basically.
Okay.
One thing that
Well, we'll
you
just
could
at least check that.
There would be a place that would help the community if we had 1 or 2 generators at grocery stores, if
Right.
nothing else.
Absolutely. Okay.